Hello and welcome to the Oddball Crew. Today is a pretty late day, but I decided I wanted to do some work to my Scion TC. So here we go. Here's the Scion TC, and we have some mods for it, and I can't wait to go ahead and install them. But before I do that, since one of the mods happens to be sound related, I should already let you guys know that I already did something to this exhaust. Now this is a stock exhaust, but I did do a muffler delete. So on the muffler delete, all I did was, well, I cut the muffler out. But we'll go ahead and look under and you can see that what exactly I did, because I didn't just cut the muffler out and leave it there. Alrighty. So here's the muffler right here. As you can see, it looks exactly stock from where it would be normally. And let's see if we can get underneath here. And there you go. So I welded all this out. I cut it right there, and I cut it back here, and I added pipe so that it would stay exactly in the stock position. I wanted the car to look like it was still stock, but obviously not sound stock. Obviously most people are just gonna go ahead and say that I street piped it, but there's actually still two resonators on there and catalytic converter, so it's not technically straight piped, but well, now that I explained that to you, I should probably go ahead and show you what mods I wanted to do today and see if we can actually finish them today, because like I said, it's a late day and don't know how long we have until it's dark. So let's go get those mods out, set them up, and show you what we got. Alrighty, so I got the mods that I want to get on the car today, hopefully, if we have enough daylight. Let's go ahead and take a look. There we go. So we have these JDM bumper clips. I actually got these off of Wish for real cheap. Actually, I think they were free and I just paid shipping. We have a Blazer light setup. For how cheap these was, or for how cheap these were, I don't really think I would have chose anything else, because in my opinion they look pretty decent and they were only 20 bucks. We have a intake and I'm really excited about this. This is the reason why I had to go into a story about me already setting up the exhaust, because this should change the tone of the vehicle. This is a checkpoint tuning intake, and well, fuck, let's go ahead and install all this and see how it turns out. I'm really excited, especially for the intake. So we're gonna go ahead and pull the car in here. That way you get to hear what the car sounds like before the intake, and then we'll do a side-by-side comparison. Alrighty, so as you can see, that's what removing the muffler makes the Scion TC sound like. At least the 05 to 010 or 2005 to 2010 models are concerned, because they came with the 2.4 liter. Let's go ahead and install this intake because I can't wait. So as for what the intake goes for, it's I mean, it's pretty self-explanatory. You take off the old intake and put the new one on. Alrighty, so removing the old intake. Alright, so removing the old intake, all you really have to do is, well, let's take a look. So looking at this old intake, it looks like it has some vent piping that goes down below. We'll worry about that probably last, and worry about taking all the rest of this stuff off. I think the hardest part of this is going to be reaching back there and getting that off. All these other lines too, probably going to be a pain. So let's see, what can we see? There's a pinch clip down there, right there. There is this screw clip right here, along with this screw clip, but I think we can take off whatever this is altogether without removing that. So I'm gonna go ahead and remove this, and we'll chat again. Okay, so upon further investigation of tearing this down, when you remove the top cover of this air filter pod, when you remove the air filter, you can see that there are 3 bolts down there that you have to remove in order to pull this out. We're definitely going to want to pull this out. It may not get in the way, but it's kind of ugly, so I'm definitely going to want to remove that. So I'll keep on going at it, and if I find anything new that I think you guys may want to know, I will yet again talk to you guys. Alright, so we have fully removed the old intake. As you can see, the throttle body is right there. We will still have to remove this, but now we have a clear shot of everything that's right here. This right here, I honestly don't know what to do with this. I think you just leave it and probably zip tie it off to the side, but I don't know. I'm gonna go ahead and remove this box and then get the new intake in here, and then we can start it up and see how she sounds. Alright, so I'm in some work clothes and it's a new day. That means that the intake took a little more work than I originally expected, so we're gonna have to get back at it today. Last night it got a little too late and a little dark, so I wasn't actually able to get it completely installed, but we'll do that today. What happened is that the intake, so how I originally thought this intake was gonna go is that it was just gonna sit on front of, you know, where you can see it, and the pod filter was just gonna sit behind the battery, and that was gonna be that. It was gonna be a quick, easy install, and you know, I could go on to doing other stuff. But it turns out that this is a true cold air intake, and that little snorkel that comes in through the fender, I have to remove that so I can get the new intake piping, snake it through, and that pod filter is actually going to be right there at the bottom vent, right next to right at the bottom of the bumper on the driver's side, and that's cool because I honestly do believe that it's gonna get a lot better air circulation that way. But what sucks is that I wasn't prepared for that, so I wasn't able to get it done last night. But what we need to do is I'm gonna have to pull a couple screws off that fender liner, pull the fender liner down, pull the screw that's holding that snorkel in, and then we can start installing the rest of the intake piping. That should be pretty easy, and now that I'm in actual work clothes instead of fucking nice clothes that I was wearing yesterday, it should go pretty quick because I'm not going to worry about getting dirty. Alrighty, let's get to it. Alrighty, so this is what we're going to have to remove right there. We're going to have to remove this bolt right here for this fender liner, and then probably there's a screw right here that we're going to have, or pop rivet or whatever you want to call it. We're going to have to remove that too, just to give enough leeway in the fender liner to be able to get back there. I'll show you what snorkel I was talking about. I showed you yesterday, didn't really know where it went, but now we do. So this is the snorkel I was talking about. We have to remove this right here, and then we're gonna have to snake the rest of the intake piping down that hole, and it'll come down here, down to the bumper where this vent is, which is pretty awesome. Can't wait to actually see what it does, but I'm gonna go ahead and tackle that. And then I'll get back on the camera and give you guys an update. Hopefully it'll be done and we get a sound clip real quick. Alrighty, bye guys. Alright, so that was rough. It took way longer than I expected because when I started, the sun wasn't quite all the way up yet, and now it is. But as you can see right here, we did get it in, and like I said, it goes through this little hole right here into the fender, and that pod filter down there, you're not really gonna be able to see that, but it's right there next to that front vent right here in the hood, or in the bumper, and it should be pretty awesome. So we're gonna go ahead and I'm gonna start it up, and we're gonna see what the difference in sound is, and then we have some other stuff that I want to do too, so we'll see if we can go ahead and jump on those and get those installed real quick, since those were supposed to be in the video yesterday, which is still the same video, but should have had them done yesterday. We'll just use the time now and get them installed. Alrighty, so as you can see there, when I started the car, it had some issues. When I started it, check engine light popped on, and it didn't want to idle. So I tried looking around, checking the connectors, make sure that I connected the connectors right, and it wasn't the connectors. So since it wasn't the connectors, I had to look into what was the cause here. I went ahead and disconnected the battery, so that way I could see if the ECU would just, you know, kind of like reflash itself. went ahead and did that and waited a couple minutes and then put the terminal back on and started the car. So when I started the car, it still had a slight rough idle, but the check engine light was gone. So I let the car run a bit, and it seems to be that that's the issue. With the new intake, I think the car needs to learn. So if you let the car run on idle for a bit, that rough idle starts to smooth out and gets a lot better. So I'm gonna go ahead and do this again. I'm gonna go ahead and start the car, let you guys hear the idle, give it a couple reps, and then we can see if, we can do the side-by-side comparison on what it sounded like before to what it sounds like now. Later on, we'll go on a ride, and well, I'll do a butt dyno on how I think it feels now compared to how it felt before. We're gonna go ahead and start the car for you, and let's get that exhaust clip, huh? Alrighty, so that's it. I had to stop because obviously I don't want to piss off my neighbors.